Thank you very much. So I hope you can all see my screen. As by way of introductions, my name's Stuart Nairne. I'm the UK Vendor Alliances Director over at Exclusive Networks. And before I go into my presentation, I just wanted to give a brief overview of Exclusive Networks, who we are and what we do, and why we've been asked to take part in this exciting initiative with new vendors, leaning on our experience and the business that we've built. So Exclusive Group are a global value-added services and technology business. We focus on bringing new, emerging, disruptive technology, more than often from the US, into the EMEA and UK market. We have a presence in over 100 countries with physical offices in 36, and we now cover 5 continents after recent acquisitions in both Turkey, Dubai, and Australia. From a group perspective, we are a 100% channel organisation. We do not sell direct to end users. We work through our network of corporate bars.
Hello, Stuart.
Hello?
Nice to see your screen.
Is that better?
Yeah, got it now. Thank you.
Sorry. We work through a network of security boutique VARs, resellers, SIs, and MSSPs. So the network spans from 8,000 resellers across Europe and 2,500 in the UK. In terms of the portfolio and where we really focus, as I just touched on, it's very focused on disruptive technologies. We want vendors and to identify vendors in the early stages that require rapid growth, and maybe they don't currently have UK presence, UK marketing, UK technical resource, and we help them identify, create, enable, and drive a channel. So I just wanted to touch on, from our experience, some do's and don'ts, and also some case studies of some of the technologies which we have launched. Some of the names you may be aware of are the likes of Q1 Labs before they were acquired by IBM, Megapod that was acquired by Aruba, NetScreen that was then acquired by Juniper. We took all of these technologies at a very, very early stage, and more recently Palo Alto, which I'm going to touch on in a little bit more depth, FireEye, and very, very recently the likes of Tanium, Lookout, and Elastica. So when Exclusive are looking for new technology, there are a few points here which we take into consideration. The financial background, which has been touched on earlier on, the funding, speaking to the VCs that we know, VCs that are also engaged in investing in some of our other vendors, and the executive teams as well. The technology has to be right and it has to be ready. We don't take technology that is on version 0.1. Yes, we want them very early on, but sometimes it's too early. We also need to appreciate technology that complements our existing portfolio, and also that the technology that the vendor has on offer is a complete product. It's not a feature or a function. Relationships has been touched on multiple times. It's extremely key that we build relationships like we do in day-to-day life and in any sales organization. We have to work on relationships. We have to be visible. There needs to be communication. The expectations as well. We need to understand what the plans are, both in the first year, the first 6 months, but then an outlook, i.e. what is the overall goal? What is the goal in terms of revenue terms for the vendor? Is it to grow to a certain level and then be sold, then be acquired? We need to understand what the path of the vendor looks like. Has to be channel ready. The amount of vendors that do come to speak to exclusive networks, but don't have simple things and haven't considered things like deal registration, channel sales tools on the website around cheat sheets, product briefs, etc., etc. It's all stuff that has to be there and has to be ready. We as distributor work with our vendors to create this, but we do need that content. It has to be ready for the channel. Local investment is absolutely key. We need to see investment, as was touched on, in EMEA. And if we are going to focus on the UK as the first market, then there must be local investment and local staff. Wins and case studies have been stressed on, but also the addressable market. What is the actual addressable market? If we're coming at it from kind of a product that is very focused on maybe PCI compliance, for example, or very strong in government, or an enterprise-led product that has a very strong play within the tier one finance, what actually is the addressable market? Who is that market? I just wanted to touch on a couple of case studies. So the first case study I always use when we talk to any new vendor is Palo Alto. We signed Palo Alto Networks 8 years ago. In the first year, Palo Alto did $300,000 with us in the UK. If you look where they are now 8 years on, in excess of 30 million in the UK, the growth has been very, very strong, and it's been a sustained growth. The reason why, in our opinion, is Palo Alto is the blueprint for any new technology we take on. What Palo Alto did very early on is they had very clear objective. They had a plan that they followed, and they stuck to it. They were very clear in that they needed to build a UK channel and the channel partners that they needed, and identified 5 in the first year. And they didn't move outside of those 5. They worked with them to enable them and give them scale. And when the large deals came and needed to be filled through some of the more corporate resellers, Palo Alto said, no, we're going to protect the channel that we built and we're going to grow with this channel and take us with them. FireEye is the next one. Now, FireEye took the Palo Alto model and followed it in the very early years. But we all know and have all read around FireEye in terms of the investment that came from the US, etc. FireEye is a very enterprise-led technology. And what FireEye did is focus very heavily on the end-user deal and not the channel. And again, 1, 2, 3 years in, has had to start in that channel. Because, from my opinion, in the UK, you can't just use the UK as a mechanism to transact. The channel gives you scale, and the channel must be invested in to give you the scale that you need. A final one was Fortinet that you may all be aware of. Fortinet had fantastic technology. It was without doubt the best performing firewall in terms of speed and security. Great technology, but they didn't tell anybody about it. They didn't tell the channel. They didn't market it in the correct ways. And Fortinet have learned over the last couple of years and are now focusing very heavily on the channel and also the marketing to productize and commercialize the great technology that they have. This is a slide that I do. I don't want to teach anyone to suck eggs, but over the last 12 years of my career at Exclusive Networks and the 20 years that Exclusive Networks have been doing this, there's some simple things that a new startup vendor should follow. Have a clear and documented plan. You have to invest in the UK channel, into the direct touch team, into SEs has been touched before. We must invest. We have multiple conversations with our vendors whereby we're happy to fly over to the States or speak to VPs in the UK and show the local teams what resources are required, how much it will cost, but then the return on investment that we'll get from that. Focus, again, is key. If we choose to land in EMEA, but we believe the UK is the place where we start and that's where we put resource, we must focus. What doesn't work is when we have a channel manager, for example, covering the whole of EMEA, literally flying from country to country. That focus must be localized, and it must be focused on the right channel, the right end users, at the right price point. Research and understand markets, which Lan touched on earlier on, and also know your products and your competition. Where do you compete? Where do you complement? Where can you become part of an ecosystem? For example, with Palo Alto, we now have 8 years experience of selling to end users via partners. We can very easily map that against the vendor's expectations and the sweet spots. Identify the right market price is another key thing for us. We need to ensure through research that we are at the right price point. Where are the competitors? What will an end user pay? Enable and embrace channel partners, and also be seen. We need to be visible. We need to be visible within distribution and the channel. And then on the don'ts. Don't set unrealistic objectives and expectations. We all want to succeed, but in the first year we need to set correct expectations over a correct time frame, and we need success. Don't make it difficult to engage with a partner. We don't have to have lots of paperwork, etc., etc. We need to make it very easy to engage, very easy to enable. The final point for me, or the most important point for me from a distributor standpoint, is don't create a hybrid channel. I know it was touched on earlier on regarding direct versus channel, and in our opinion, and what we've seen over the years with hundreds of vendors, is that if you have a direct channel, that is one thing, but you can't create a hybrid channel whereby you can sell directly to an end user, with a channel, and then also resellers that can buy direct or sell direct. It needs to be a very clear strategy. Otherwise, it just causes conflicts from the start. So you must be clear in what you want to achieve as part of the plan. Also, don't drive the margin out of the channel. Cannot use the channel just for fulfillment. The channel needs to make money out of this. But what the channel will do is take you and make introductions into the rest of their customer base. But the margin must be kept in the channel from the very early days. And also, talking about early days, don't launch too early. Until there's a plan, until you've done your research, have your funding, found your marketing strategy, found your PR agency, understand exactly what you want to achieve, don't launch. Yes, we may have goals and objectives that we have to meet, but don't do it too early. It won't work. And just an example of a launch initiative which exclusive networks have. So the Hungry Club. So exclusive networks looked at our UK portfolio and we said, okay, we're identifying technologies that we thought were right for us, that complemented our solution stack and were right for our messaging about cybersecurity and also mobility. But it's not us as a distributor that sell to the end users, it's our channel partners. So we wanted to get a round table, small number of partners that could help us shape our portfolio. What types of problems, what types of technologies were the reseller partners being requested? However, after kind of canvassing and speaking to a couple of resellers, we ended up having 115 signed up, which ended up into a little bit more of a larger event. But the key thing about the Hungry Club is that we want our partners' feedback, we want to help them shape our portfolio, and we want vendors to get the feedback that they require to be able to shape their plans. So what we do around the Hungry Club is a simple introduction with an elevator pitch, speed dating with a sales and tech person, and also a networking dinner in the evening. All the key components really of a product introduction, but rather than it take 1, 3, 6 months, consolidating it with like-minded individuals as well within the partners that are hungry for new technology. The key thing that we do is, and you'll see the chairs there, there's a concept in the UK called Dragon's Den, Shark Tank over in the US, whereby the dragons have to invest in businesses and entrepreneurs that they believe is right for those guys. What we do with all of our partners is, in a fun-filled way, they invest with exclusive networks branded money into the vendors that they want to see, that they want to invest in, and they see an opportunity with. The next one on the date there on the 24th, we've actually got 4 vendors, all from the US, that are coming across that we haven't signed contracts with. It's under an NDA, but it's more so we can learn and the vendor can learn what is the right approach for them. The winner will get a contract with exclusive networks. But again, this is just one initiative that we can use in the UK to get you to the right partners and the right end users. That concludes my presentation today. If there are any other questions and anyone wants to touch on further details on any of the launches we've done with the likes of Palo Alto and FireEye, etc., I'd be more than happy to go into more detail and working with Diane. Thank you very much.
Thanks very much, Stuart. Thank you very much, all of the presenters. I think that's been really interesting. I hope you've all enjoyed listening to the information and the experience of my colleagues. So thank you to John Holland at John Holland Consulting, Mark at Arxan, and Stuart Nairne Clark at Exclusive. I think it's been really instructive. I hope you've enjoyed listening to our experts. If you want to talk to any of them on a one-to-one basis, then feel free to contact me and I'll be happy to put you in touch. My email is Diane, D-I-A-N-N-E, at eclat, that's eclat.co.uk. We are going to be running a series of these webinars, which will be focusing on different regions. So next month we'll be focusing on the DACH region, after that on Nordic and Benelux, then on the Southern European geography is France, Spain and Italy, then moving on to Middle East and Africa. So we would encourage you, if these are regions that you are going to be looking at or expanding into, then please let us know if you'd like to join those webinars, and we look forward to hearing you and participating on some more Code Red webinars. So thank you and have a great day.